start with a black screen. A faint, distorted heartbeat sound begins, slowly getting clearer. Text appears on screen. What is reality? Have you ever felt like you're living in two worlds at once? That every choice you make splits your reality, creating a ghost version of you that took the other path? This isn't just a fantasy. It's a question that haunted one of the greatest minds of the 20th century. A man who peered into the heart of reality and came back with a story so bizarre, it changed science forever. This is the story of Erwin Schrödinger and a cat that was both dead and alive. Image of Schrödinger appears, looking thoughtful. The heartbeat fades into a subtle, mysterious background track. In 1935, the world of physics was in chaos. Quantum mechanics, the new theory of the very small, was painting a picture of the universe that defied all common sense. Particles could be in multiple places at once. There could be waves and particles at the same time. It was a world of ghosts and shadows, governed by probability, not certainty. Albert Einstein famously hated it, declaring, "God does not play dice with the universe." Schrödinger, a Nobel laureate from Austria, shared Einstein's unease. He respected the math, but the implications felt absurd. To show just how absurd it was, he devised a thought experiment, a story meant to expose the madness. But in doing so, he accidentally created the most famous paradox in history. Animation of the thought experiment begins. A simple box, a cat, a vial of poison, a hammer, a radioactive atom. Imagine a steel box, completely sealed from the outside world. Inside, we place a cat. Along with the cat, there's a diabolical device, a tiny piece of radioactive material, so small that in the next hour, there's a perfect 50/50th chance that one of its atoms will decay. If it decays, it triggers a Geiger counter. The counter releases a hammer. The hammer smashes a vial of poison, and the cat dies. If the atom doesn't decay, nothing happens, and the cat remains happily alive. Simple, right? A 50/50th shot. But here's where Schrödinger turned the world upside down. The animation zooms in on the atom, showing it in a shimmering, blurry state of both decayed and not decayed, according to the bizarre rules of quantum mechanics. Until we observe the atom, it isn't in one state or the other. It's in a superposition of both states at once. It has both decayed and not decayed. It's a quantum ghost. And because the fate of the cat is directly linked to the atom, the madness spreads. If the atom is both decayed and not decayed, then the hammer is both released and not released. The poison is both smashed and intact. And the cat is therefore both dead and alive simultaneously. Not one or the other. Both, a living, breathing phantom in a quantum coffin. The camera pulls back from the animated box. The music swells with tension. It's only when we open the box and look inside that reality is forced to choose. The superposition collapses, and we see either a dead cat or a living one. But until that moment of observation, the universe holds its breath, allowing both possibilities to exist in a single, terrifying state. Schrödinger thought this was ridiculous. A cat can't be dead and alive. He created the story to prove that quantum theory must be incomplete. He was saying, "Look at the nonsense your theory leads to." But the universe had a surprise for him. The physics community looked at his paradox and, instead of rejecting quantum mechanics, they embraced it. "Yes," they said, "this is exactly how the universe works." As weird as it sounds, until observed, the cat is both dead and alive. This idea exploded across science and culture. It wasn't just about cats anymore. It was about us. Are we constantly splitting into different versions of ourselves in parallel universes with every quantum event? This is the many worlds interpretation. Every time the atom has a choice, the universe splits in two. In one universe, the cat lives. In another, identical universe, it dies. An infinite tree of branching realities, with countless versions of you living out every possible outcome. Visuals shift to show branching timelines, infinite copies of Earth, of cities, of people. Think about it. Every time you hesitate at a crossroads, every choice you almost made, in another reality, you made it. There's a version of you who took that job, who said yes to that date, who never left your hometown. An infinite number of ghost yous, living in parallel worlds, all spawned from the same quantum uncertainty that haunts Schrödinger's cat. This is where the story usually ends. A brilliant scientist, a mind-bending paradox, and the birth of the multiverse. But we've been looking at the box from the outside. What about the story from asterisk inside asterisk the box? This is where we find the twist that Schrödinger himself never saw coming. The tone of the video shifts. The music becomes more intimate, more personal, almost melancholic. Erwin Schrödinger wasn't just a physicist. He was a man who lived a life of superposition. He was married to his wife, Anna-Marie, for his entire adult life. He loved her, but he also had a lifelong affair with another woman, Hildmarch, the wife of his assistant. In a separate home, he lived a second life with Hild and their daughter. He was a husband to two women, living in two families at the same time. Photos of Schrödinger, Anna-Marie, and Hild appear. They are old, faded, and poignant. He existed in a superposition of states, devoted husband and unfaithful partner. His personal life was as tangled and paradoxical as his famous thought experiment. He was constantly navigating to separate, coexisting realities. He wasn't just imagining a box with two outcomes, he was living in one. And here is the final, shocking revelation. The detail history often forgets. The music cuts out. We see a close-up, dramatic shot of a historical document or a diary entry. When Schrödinger fled the Nazis and took a prestigious position at the Dublin Institute for Advanced Studies, he didn't choose one life over the other. He didn't collapse his superposition. He brought both his wife, Annie, and his mistress, Hild, with him to Ireland. He tried to maintain both realities under one roof. He was trying to keep the cat both dead and alive, in plain sight. Was his famous paradox not just a critique of quantum mechanics, but a subconscious cry for help? A reflection of his own fractured life. A man torn between two worlds, unable to choose, forcing reality to hold two incompatible states at once. The question was never just about the cat. It was about him. It was about us. It's about the choices we make and the ghosts of the choices we don't. Schrödinger opened the box on the universe's greatest secret, but perhaps he was also just trying to understand the paradox inside his own heart. The screen fades to black. The faint heartbeat sound returns for a moment before fading out completely. The universe is far stranger than we can imagine, and sometimes the biggest mysteries aren't in a box, but within ourselves. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy diving into the deep questions of science and history, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more journeys into the unknown. See you next time.